Hello there everyone, welcome to the Perfect Director of Football Challenge. Now, last year we actually did this save on FM Scout and we never really got to finish it. We got about 4 or 5 seasons in with Eintracht Frankfurt and a lot of people absolutely loved this save. And in fact, a lot of the people you will see around my Discord and a lot of the closest people who watch my stuff now found me thanks to the Perfect Director of Football Challenge. So I have to bring it back because not only do I really enjoy it, but I feel like we had some unfinished business with this. And I learnt a lot through the first one. And I've made a few tweaks, I've made a few changes to see if we can perfect this experiment. Now, what the objective of the save is, like the title suggests, the Perfect Director of Football Challenge, there is a type of challenge that people like to do, the Director of Football Challenge, where you let your Director of Football control all the transfers, the ins and outs, and who they sign for your club depends on that man. However, I always like to do something different, and I've always been very curious at how the attributes of the Director of Football would affect the signings that he makes. If he is the best Director of Football in the world, will he sign the best players in the world? Will he sign the next wonder kid? Would he sign the best deals and negotiate the best contracts for the players? Last year, he didn't. He was dreadful. He signed players to terrible contracts with really low minimum fee release clauses. It was weird. Occasionally he signed a good wonder kid, and Eintracht Frankfurt, the team we did it with, did okay. I don't know. I think he could have done better. So this year is a little bit something different. I will show you what we have slightly changed when we take a look at the club itself. But for the rest of the objective of the save, it's really just to see who and what he signs. The success of the club really is the secondary target. If we do manage to win the league or the Champions League, happy days. But if we don't, it's really just to see whether the Director of Football manages to sign some of the best players in the world and who he signs. And the length of the save also depends on the success of the club and whether you guys continue to enjoy it. So it's all down to you. If you do enjoy it, then you need to let me know. You need to keep the views of this series nice and high. You need to leave likes on the videos. You need to leave comments down in the videos as well. And of course, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And lastly, before we actually take a look at the very start of this experiment, if you do enjoy this type of Let's Play series, of course I don't really do very many of them anymore, then if you head over to twitch.tv/MegaLukeGame, and we have the Youth to Gold, which is a Let's Play series, only allowed to sign teenagers, and we're not allowed to use players 30 or above. You might thoroughly enjoy it. A lot of people have come across on the YouTube channel recently. Massive thank you to everyone who has done so, and if you're going to do so, brilliant, I'll see you there. So here we are at Atalanta. Now the reason why I picked this team is a fair few reasons, to be honest. They're kind of a mid-table side, a top mid-table side in the Serie A. However, they have qualified for the Champions League this year, so that's a big tick from me. They have a decent financial budget, so we'll actually see money in the budget to actually sign transfers. There's no point in doing this series if they have no money whatsoever to buy any players. It would be quite boring. He has £15 million to start off with, which is a darn sight higher than what a lot of clubs actually have. They also have a very aging squad. They have a few players, especially around their attacking force, who are in their early 30s now, and it might be time to start kind of rebuilding. So it's going to be quite intriguing to see, with a mixture of a few young players and a lot of old players, what the Director of Football has actually got up his sleeve and what he has planned. So shall we take a look at him? You might recognise his name. Here is the Perfect Director of Football, Rami Azar. Now, that isn't Rami Azar, okay? But Patreon member Rami Azar, and he's always around the Twitch streams itself. One of my biggest supporters, and thanks to him, financially, I've been able to continue doing as many videos and streams as I possibly would like to do. So we're going to get a lot of these people involved. A lot of my Patreon members are going to be involved. A lot of my Twitch mods and everything are going to be involved in this series as well. So Rami Azar is the Director of Football. Now let's take a look at his abilities. Rami is actually from Lebanon. That's actually a true fact. So I have made that so in here. So we have worldwide knowledge of Lebanon, Italy and San Marino. He is a director of football, we can also be a very good scout. Reputation. Now, last year, I didn't do anything with the reputation. That was a mistake. This year, I have done something. I have made it exceptional. He has got the highest reputation you can possibly have. He has a very long contract, so hopefully no other clubs will try and steal him. But player, ability, potential, and negotiating, all the three attributes you need to be a very good director of football, is set to max at 20 out of 20. So let's see if that really makes a big difference. And if we take a look at our backroom staff, you may also recognise some more of these names. For instance, our technical director, Jason Thomas, is always around the Discord. He's always around the Twitch chat, and of course in the YouTube comments. Jason is fantastic in supporting me, and he is here as my technical director. He also has perfect attributes from Cyprus, like he is in real life. Our chief scout is of course Ryan Cassie, because who else would it be? Peter Salin is one of our scouts. Gunter Kraus, Jeff Gator, Mark Fairhurst, Olivier Papin, Thomas First, the guy who does so many simulators for me, is now my scout. Daniel Everson, a good Patreon member, and then we have a couple of people who are just part of the Atalanta save. But we might see some more names popping up. We're only allowed 8 scouts at the minute. We only have 7 right now, so we need to sign another one. And when we do, I might just change their name too. And with each of these scouts, I have made sure what also I have done is set these to 20, 20 and 20 for adaptability, judge and player ability, and judge and player potential. The reason for that is that the director of football might be the best director of football in the world, but if he has terrible scouts, he's never going to find these good players. However, now that I have the best scouts in the world as well, all of these scouts, by the way, all have the same attributes. They are all 20 or 19 out of 20 for every single one. That's not Ryan Cassidy, by the way. Every single one of these has fantastic attributes to suit. So we should hopefully find the best players in the world. And so we have our backroom staff. We are at the very start of the season, so it's time to see what this backroom staff and what our director of football will sign for us, if he signs anyone at all. Let's take a look at this very first transfer window. So we've actually played a few friendlies already. We've played 4 in total. We only have 1 left, and it is finally at this point that we have made an offer for our very first player. It's been quite a quiet transfer window so far, but Rami Azar has finally made an offer for 25-year-old Cologne midfielder Ilyas Shqiri. Now, I've never really heard of him. He has a 2.5-star ability right now, 3-star potential for 7.75 million, so that's quite a bit of our budget. He actually doesn't look too bad. He's 25. I mean, he's Tunisian. He can play in a good couple of positions there. He's consistent. I like that. He's quite well-rounded as well, and I actually think his attributes are better than what his current ability suggests. So I'm actually quite happy with this signing if we manage to pull it off. Obviously, it's at the very early stages. It's just a transfer offer. Other than that, so far on the outs, I don't think we have had any that have been outside of... we had a couple of youth players leave. That's actually quite annoying, that one, because he's a good youngster, but again, I can't do anything about it. And on the ins, it was literally, I think it was a youngster, a free transfer there, Ivan Di Stefano, just so I don't know, no one that we're really going to use. And just like that, a few days later, we have completed the signing of Ilyas. So 25-year-old defence midfielder has signed on the dotted line for Atalanta, 7.75 million. So that's not too bad. We still have 7 million left, but we are over the wage budget. So whether he will try and reduce that wage budget by selling someone, I'm not quite sure. We have a lot of players who are leaving or have left already or joining other clubs, and they're all on the outs as well. We don't have anyone on the in. So Atalanta already getting rid of all their players, but that's before we took over. So that's unfortunate. But like I mentioned, with their squad, it is kind of aging around the attacking force. We have Ilicic, Gomez, and there's another one, Duvan Zapata, 29, 32 and 32. That's our 3 strikers. So we might have to look at bringing in, and our backup striker, Luis Muriel, also 29. So we might have to look at bringing in a striker soon. But that's the beauty of this challenge. I don't have no control over that. Last year we did notice in this challenge that he signed a lot of left backs and sometimes just ignored the positions that we actually needed. Tactics-wise, unfortunately, I decided to go for 3 up top, and this is a tactic I use for Holstein Kiel Season 3. It's a very good tactic, and the reason why I wanted to use it was because I don't really know who I wanted to drop out of those. I mean, he did prefer to play 5 at the back, this kind of formation, and I don't really know who I wanted to drop out of those 3 strikers. In regards to actually the gameplay, we will see games on this series as well. Not in this episode, but in the next episode, we will see a game happen. Probably during the January transfer window, in the middle of all of the signings. And that is because this episode, because of the explanation and because of the look at how everything's beginning, it is just going to be the transfers itself and having a look at who we've managed to sign and a little bit of an overview at the end. However, we do still have games going on, and we have won our first game of the season in the league 2-0. Duvan Zapata and Toloi with the goals against Crotone. Quite an expected win, to be honest. But yeah, good start to the Serie A. And nothing has happened since. We've had our second game, and it's a 3-1 win against Roma. So this is actually quite an impressive victory. Sam Lammers, Polomino and Sam Lammers again with the goals to win 3-1, which makes us actually sit top of the league right now. Granted, the rest of the league hasn't actually played any games yet, and Juve have a goal difference of +5 already because Ronaldo got himself a hat-trick in the first game. But still, it's a great start from us. 2 wins out of 2, a good performance against Roma, who are a tricky team in this year's Football Manager, so I'm going to be happy with that. And like I mentioned at the start of the episode, we are in the Champions League, and we've just had the Champions League draw. Man City, Sevilla and RB Leipzig is our groups. That's actually a really difficult group. There could have been a lot easier options for us to be put in. And I don't know whether we will qualify through this group with Leipzig, Sevilla and Man City, because all 3, I mean Man City especially, but all 3 of them are quite tricky size in this year's Football Manager, as well as we do stand a good chance, I suppose. Maybe just qualify for Europa League would be a better option for us. Maybe we stand more of a chance of a trophy in that regard, but it's the Champions League. We want to try and get as far as we possibly can with this. Hopefully, the Director of Football will bring us some more players, because not a lot is happening. But I must say, I mean, if we keep wins like this going, he's not going to want to sign any players. Even with 10 men, after the 35th minute, we still went on and scored 3 goals in the second half before they eventually got their player sent off in the 93rd minute. And it was Genoa as well. We beat them 3-0. It was a great result. And again, we go back to the top of the table. It's quite an impressive run. Juve already dropping points. It's just us and Sampdoria with a 100% record. It's a fantastic start. But this is the last game we will see before we have that transfer deadline day. Come on, can we have a busy one? He always used to leave it last year to the transfer deadline day. I'm hoping he has done the same here. I want some action. So we are at the start of deadline day, and so far all that's happened is a lot of players going out on loan, or the deal falling through for them to go out on loan because of the stupid rules in the Serie A. Luckily, I don't have to worry about that. Now, before anyone does ask, the way I'm actually doing this is on staff responsibilities. You can have a look at here. Ramizar has control of all negotiating the player signings and the player sales for all of the teams we have at the club. Contracts as well is all done by him too. So I'm literally just leaving it up to him. Ryan Cassidy is in charge of the scouting network, so he decides where our scouts are going, etc. But we are looking to just sign loads of different youngsters at the minute, so he's more focused on the youth team than he is the first 11. Granted, we are top of the league, so I can understand that, but we do still have a little bit of money in the budget there. I mean, 40k minus in the wage budget. Maybe if we go like here, or let's go there. So we got £4 million, but we still got around about 20k to play with in the wage budget. Maybe that will entice him to do a loan signing or something. I'm not quite sure how it works, whether you need to do those things for them to actually play ball with you. And get in there. What a signing that is. That is the signing that we will see of the season. Nicolo Ravella is incredible on this game, and I've already done a player spotlight on him, so you might have already seen it. He's been slapped straight in the under-18s. I'm going to be moving him out of the under-18s because he needs to be playing games. Nicolo Ravella has joined us. What a signing that is. £1.9 million compensation with additional 3.1, so it's roughly about 4 million that we worked out before in total. Yeah, kind of, that's pretty much all of our budget. That is a fantastic signing. Nicola Ravella, he is Italian, and already I'm quite impressed, Ramezar. I'm quite impressed with the two signings you made. Both of them sent midfielders, okay, but, you know, 25-year-old and an 18-year-old, an 18-year-old with an extremely good potential. I'm very happy with that signing. Is there going to be any more going forward? Another youngster there, looks like he has signed. No one too special, though. That is it. That is it. So we have made 2 signings in total for the first team. I'm taking that Nicola Ravella signing as the first team one, but we have a lot of other free transfers in here. Players who didn't have clubs, who are just going to be used in the under-19s or whatever like that. That's the most recent guy. He doesn't look too bad, but he will never play for the first team. What it's all about, though, viewers, is this man here, who is going to play. He's already played a couple of games, one off the bench, one start, and Nicola Ravella, who I need to now start including in the first team. Let's get him straight into the senior squad. There's no point in having him in the under-18s. He's going to do nothing down there. He's going to do so much better in the first team. I'm very happy with that signing. And so that is episode 1 of the Perfect Director of Football Challenge. What did you make of the Director of Football Rami Azar's signings so far? Next episode we will see the January transfer window and we'll have a look at a game as well. So some exciting stuff to come up. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It's going to get a lot more interesting in the future. Believe me, this first episode, it kind of just... because there's not a lot of money and stuff like that, it kind of just like is what it is. Now, going forward, it's going to get a lot more interesting by season who we're signing. Regens coming involved as well, and see whether he decides to pick up some regens or everything like that. I'm actually quite intrigued with. And of course, how we actually perform in the league and in the Champions League, and whether we can keep going in the Champions League and maybe qualify next year as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like button. That would be absolutely fantastic. Leave comments down below. What do you make Nicola Ravella? That's a fantastic signing in my eyes. Do you rate that signing? Because I definitely do. And of course, if you haven't done so already, please consider smashing that subscribe button to stick around. Player spotlights, if you haven't been on this channel before, we have them 3 or 4 a week right now. And you guys are absolutely loving them, the people who are watching them. So a massive thank you for that support. Twitch.tv/MegaLukeGaming. And guys, I'll see you very soon. This is going to be a weekly episode. Every week we will have another episode. So I'll see you next week for the next Perfect Director of Football Challenge. Bye-bye.